The lights go on, and underway we go. Oh, terrible start from Jaume Masia, and also from Tony Arbolino, who completely bogs it. That leaves it clear now for Aaron Canet to get going. Jaume Masia has actually recovered very well, Matt, as we tip it into turn one.
Well, he nearly launched himself to the moon there, didn't he, Jaume Masia? A real scare off the line. You're right, Steve. Arbolino had an absolute shocker. Canet was got the whole shot then, the man who was on the podium in Qatar. He'll lead the field, looking back to pole man Jaume Masia through turn 3 for the first time.
Leopard Honda rider Lorenzo Della Porta has just dropped 1 place to Andrea Minio, teammate, of course, to Jaume Masia. That's number 16. He's up into 4th place now. So on towards the back straight we go, Slipstream City.
Deary me, Steve. Arbolino had a nightmare off the line, as you predicted. I mean, 3rd to 13th in the first sector alone. Arbolino then lost 10 places with that dreadful start.
Flying through on the slipstream there is Nico Antonelli. 2 experienced candidates now at the front of this one. Canet leads from number 23.
John McPhee at the moment has not been able to find his way back inside that top 10. Nico Antonelli then hits the front with the slipstream. We said it was worth half a second. He got a nice drag behind Aaron Canet, and for the first time then in Argentina, it's Nicola Antonelli that sweeps into the lead in the braking zone for that turn 5. Canet in pursuit, then it's Masia, Della Porta and Fernandez in the top 5.
Remember from Qatar, Honda Power reigned supreme. The KTMs were just struggling, weren't they, in terms of top speed overall, and Canet immediately fights back. Great move there from the Valencian, although he almost throws it away.
You know, you've got to be so careful. He got at the inside of Antonelli there, and he may have just run a little bit wide. You've only got to be half a metre offline here in Argentina. It's so dirty off the pure racing line. If you don't make those passes stick and make them clean and accurate, you really are putting yourself in the danger zone. I just wonder where with a Canet just briefly strayed onto a dirty and slick part of the track.
Nice overtake from Della Porta in 3rd place. He just saw the door open there from Jaume Masia and he slides through, so he's up into the top 3 now. And Ayagura on absolute fire. There he is, just going up into 5th place. So Antonelli leads, just in behind him, number 44, Aaron Canet. Then it's Della Porta, Masia, Ayagura and Ayumu Sasaki now trying to make his way through. Round the outside is 25, Raul Fernandez.
A little bit tight there as well between Sasaki and Fernandez. Now, Finati didn't get the start that he wanted. He started 7th. He's 13th at the moment. And what that means, of course, with that soft rear tyre, he's got to work hard, he's got to be aggressive. He's got to push hard to regain that lost ground. That's going to burn up that soft rear tyre potentially for Finati. He's got to go into a bit of time management mode in those latter laps, you feel.
Here comes Ayumu Sasaki on the outside. Aaron Canet there, number 44 as well. And Jaume Masia now then, having started from pole, finally fishes his way through to the front again, but he's running wide. Canet thought about going up past him, not enough room.
First time in the race, John McPhee, just in the middle of that picture there on the number 17 Petronas Sprinter Honda, has got in the 149. He's starting to click into his rhythm here, John McPhee. Got a nice bit of temperature in those tyres now, and he's starting to look seriously menacing, McPhee.
Yeah, both Arbolino and Rodrigo are starting to get busy as well. Number 19 and number 14, Rodrigo, such an important race for him. Can he find his way onto the podium here today? Onto the back straight, trying to find as much slipstream as possible. Here comes McPhee, now about to pull out on Gabriel Rodrigo. McPhee, who had a poor start, trying to find his way back through, but Rodrigo's got slipstream himself. He goes through on Jaume Masia. Tony Arbolino's late on the brakes once more, and Rodrigo takes the lead.
And the crowd are going absolutely wild here in Argentina. Then Gabriel Rodrigo from 13th place on the grid. It's taken him just 5.5 laps to get into the lead. Brilliant by Rodrigo.
Different varying lines here for all of the Moto3 riders as McPhee looks to now make a move on Aaron Canet. Not quite enough room there. The door closed in front of him. Masia, who was on pole, is now 9th, and Toba, who really struggled in the opening stages of this race, has finally got himself into the top 10.
Tony Arbolino using the slipstream perfectly down this long straight. He just swept effortlessly by John McPhee. John McPhee led coming out of turn number 4, on the brakes into turn 5. McPhee struggling to hold his place inside the top 6 now with the slipstream.
So they exit turn number 5, trying to get as much power underneath him as possible there, Tony Arbolino, but it's Canet that leads from Darren Binder. Binder will definitely have a look up the inside at some point, not quite close enough that time around.
Coming out of that final drag to the line, but he still was able to take his first podium finish, and well set here. He's going to take the lead up the inside of Canet. That's nicely done, clean as a whistle from Darren Binder, and he now leads here in Argentina.
Oh, the CIP team will be loving this. The South African leads, although he's on the exit there of the curb. He's out of track limits. He might get a warning for that. Just in the background there, Tatsuki Suzuki underneath Gabriel Rodrigo into turn 1. He goes into 4th now. Really is anyone's Matt here. Would not want to pick a winner out of these 20.
A couple of riders as well just being picked up there on the exit out of turn number 1. You're right about Foggia, Steve. He's had a really strong race. A great fight back from outside the top 20. Foggia knocking on the door of the top 6 now. Dennis the Menace.
Onto the back straight, number 40 is Darren Binder, but he's going to get swallowed up here. The KTM doesn't have quite as much poke of these Hondas. Here comes Arbolino through, Suzuki, then it's Gabriel Rodrigo, Yumu Sasaki also in the mix, but last of the late breakers as ever is Darren Binder, who manages to get back into 2nd again. I just wonder if Fanati's got anything at all to offer this group in the closing stages, or if he's already used up too much tyre. Not seen him make any progress into the top 10 yet.
Well, unless he's just pretty comfortable, Steve, where he is, and just trying to save. Oh, dear. That's Lopez.
That's McPhee as well.
That's a disaster. Lopez on the 21 bike. I'm not sure whether he was the instigator or the victim, but it's definitely his podium challenge over. And poor old John McPhee's wrong time, wrong place then for John McPhee potentially.
Foggia. That was absolutely sensational from Dennis the Menace. What a move into turn 13, and all of a sudden, he leads. Dennis Foggia started 22nd on the grid.
Yeah, we call him leading in Austin for a couple of laps last year. Not too many times we've seen Foggia at the front, of course. He was on the podium in Buriram. He's got a real mixed recent record as Dennis Foggia. In fact, he's DNF'd in the last 4 races. I hope I'm not putting the commentator's curse on the number 7. Because there he is, he hasn't seen the checkered flag since that podium finish in Buriram.
The 2 riders that started from row 7 and row 8 are 1st and 2nd here in Argentina with 8 laps remaining as the freight train in Moto3 heads onto the back straight. Arbolino 3rd, 44 Canet always seems to be in contention. He's there with Rodrigo, and Dalla Porta, never count out Dalla Porta. He's come back now as well. Yeah. Up the inside is Sasaki, but it's Canet that will lead.
Riding a smart race at the moment, isn't he, Dalla Porta? He just got in a fraction hot there. It is Canet that leads. Almost coming together there between Arbolino and Rodrigo as they got on the gas coming out of turn number 5. So Binder then just trying to break the slipstream behind him, but Arbolino and Dalla Porta sweep on through. Dalla Porta then now leads. Leopard Honda riders, Dalla Porta and Ramirez really starting to come to prominence here. Dalla Porta then that will lead through turn 6 from Arbolino, Binder, Sasaki, Rodrigo still right in contention for a home Grand Prix victory. This is anybody's down to Toba in 17th place. Last lap's about to be started, and it will be a South African Darren Binder that leads from Dalla Porta, from Arbolino. Rodrigo still right in the mix for a famous home victory, as is Masia, Sasaki, Ramirez, Antonelli. They're all still in the hunt as well.
Gentlemen, get your plans of attack ready. It is the last lap then. Dalla Porta again for the 3rd lap on the trot. Has the advantage going onto the back straight. You'd think he'd learned his lesson by now. He will not hold on to that if he goes onto the back straight in the lead. Darren Binder, really good on the brakes. Look for him now as well. Who else is going to be in the mix?
Well, Dalla Porta gambled on the last lap in Qatar as well, didn't he? He's got, what, 5 or 6 bike lengths maybe this time around. Now, Dalla Porta, absolutely phenomenal drive he got coming out of turn number 4 onto the back straight. Here comes Rodrigo, though. Rodrigo got a 2-bike slipstream, and he's going to dive up the inside. Binder! He's pushed Dalla Porta out wide. Dalla Porta's not going to win the Argentinian Grand Prix. A rider from Argentina may well do, though.
Oh, it's all on here, and Jaume Masia all of a sudden, who started on pole position, can sniff a first ever race victory as well. Darren Binder will be late on the brakes, and so will Arbolino. Oh, this is going to be madness, surely.
And Massia's found a way up the inside of Rodrigo. The crowd are going absolutely crazy here in Argentina, but it's Massia that leads through turn 7 and 8.
If there is not major drama going into turn 13, well, you could call me the Pope. This is number 5, Jaume Masia, who leads that first victory just around the corner. There is number 19, Rodrigo. Binder and Arbolino are late breakers going into turn 13.
Rodrigo's got to go for it. There's a home race beckoning. Listen to the crowd. They're going absolutely wild here in Argentina. Binder's going to squeeze Rodrigo out wide. Rodrigo is going to be on the pole. Oh no! He's lost it. Masia's going to win.
It's unbelievable. The checker flag is out. He was pole. He wins here in Argentina. Darren Binder takes second place and Tony Arbolino takes third as well. It's a first podium for him. So disappointing for Gabriel Rodrigo. Contact there in the end, and look at the celebrations from the CIP Green Power team. What a race here in Argentina.
Ricardo Sosa, the Deputy Secretary of Tourism for the Santiago del Estero, handing over a first podium trophy and a first victory trophy to Jaume Masia here at the Termas de Rio Hondo circuit in Argentina.